Parry with CBC. I'd like to follow up on that. Just if you've got an economist like Trevor Toombs saying that your plan is unsustainable, is just that. Is there an argument that if Pierre Poilievre is trying to bring down spending, bring down the deficit, that his plan is more fiscally responsible than yours?
Okay. There's one thing that you can write on a paper. There's another thing that will happen in the economy. Okay? So our plan, to be clear, is focused on investment and growing this economy. All of the spending, all of the investment in years 3 and 4 are for growing the economy. We are creating $500 billion of investment in this economy over the course of the next 4 years. That sounds like an enormous number. It is an enormous number. And the vast, vast majority of that investment comes from companies like Marmon, our big investments in clean and conventional energy, our investments in auto, our investments in housing and beyond from the private sector, but with a clear directional plan. The Conservative plan makes it up. It literally makes it up. It says that growth will come from somewhere, even though there's no plan to address the biggest risk to our economy, the U.S., even though their tax cut doesn't arrive for 4 years, even though their costing numbers are far too low, even though their reductions in spending don't appear. And on top of that, they divide Canadians into two. If you're at home and you don't have your children in a $10 a day daycare, if you're not taking advantage of dental care, if you want to watch the CBC or Radio Canada, c'est fini avec les conservateurs. Okay? So, look, it's very different. I would, if you want to compare economists, why don't you look at what Mike Moffat has said today about the costing of the Conservative plan. I mean, this is not we can have the discussion, but this is a real crisis, a real situation. The question is, within a week's time, who's going to be negotiating with President Trump and who's going to be managing the finances of this country? It's going to be François-Philippe Champagne and myself and our team, or is it going to be a group that made it up on a napkin, released it a couple of days before the election, and has never taken responsibility for these types of decisions in the past? That's the question.